back to Melissa Hager TV. I'm getting right to it today. Click subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. But I have a really special family with me today.
I remember him being in the window, and I'm like, you've got to jump.
The whole top beam of our house caught at once, went up to her room, but then all the way across to my room.
And then I remember falling backwards, and I was like, that's it, I'm done, I'm dying in this fire.
Inspiring story, and some of our business friends wanted to jump in and be able to help you guys out. They all chipped in together. The story, it's going to change your day, probably change your week, and likely change how you participate in life all through 2021. So without further ado, please help me welcome the Brown family. Hi guys. We have Heather and Gerald, husband and wife, their beautiful two daughters, Briere and Cheyenne, with us today on the show. You guys have quite an ordeal that you've been through.
Yes. Where would you like to start? November 4th, we got invited over to my mom and dad's for a bonfire. We had just gotten there. My husband went out toward the bonfire. It was roaring. It was beautiful. I went into the house to help my mom. Well, he called me and he's like, you need to rush out here. Your dad fell into the bonfire. So that's where, like, a lot of it started. I mean, 2020's been a shit show anyway.
Yeah.
But that's where, we've been working from home. The girls have been going to school. Like, it's been the norm for what the norm is. So took him, called the ambulance, got him to the hospital, yada, yada, yada. So that was good. So my mom said, call your cousin and let her know what's going on. So I paged her. She was at work. I texted her, and she said, I'm only going to call you if you're not going to be mad at me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why am I going to be mad at anybody? Well, they surprised us with remodeling, I guess. Like, when we built our house, it was Cape Cod. The upstairs was never finished. The electrical and everything was up there, but we never put up drywall or bedrooms or anything. So they blessed us with going to give the girls 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Aww.
Sorry. The girls have shared a bedroom for 16 years. And, it was time that, but we never could do it. We never could afford to do it. We don't know. We don't have the know-how to build and, drywall. And so they had been working on that. Well, they decided to put in like an attic for us so we could put our totes and, like the Christmas stuff. We didn't have a garage. So that was like going to be, that was the, like, we don't need it, throw it upstairs. We don't need, So we cleaned it all out. I was throwing stuff out the windows. I said, the neighbors are going to think I'm throwing my husband out because the front yard was full of beds. And
just another day, right?
Right. Old beds. And, we had a huge garden tub up there that we cut up because we weren't going to use it up there, and threw that out the window. So I know every morning they were like, what's going on with the Browns? And so anyway, then on November 22nd, I was putting totes into the new attic, and there was no walls up. So he had built a 40-inch door to go in and out of, but work smarter, not harder, right?
Right.
Why would I crawl on my knees
right
when there's no walls and the joists are there, and nobody told me to crawl? So I was walking, putting totes in, and about, I don't know, Shy was up there helping me. Briere was taking an exam downstairs, and he was sitting on the couch. And all of a sudden, he heard cracking loud, and he's like, what's going on up there? And I came straight through 10 feet from the upstairs.
Oh, my gosh.
Onto the floor. There was a couch and an 83-inch TV. Shy just stood there like...
Your mom just fell out of the sky.
I watched it happen, and I had grabbed a tote to give to her to put back there, and I watched her go down, and I was like, that just happened.
Oh my goodness.
And so of course later on I'm like, so how did I, go through this? And she said, well, you kind of started like this, and then your arms went up and you were gone. It was all a God thing. That's all I can say. I went through the blades of a ceiling fan and never even touched the ceiling fan. It didn't move. It didn't break. It didn't fall from the ceiling. Nothing. Now I was, the insulation was right there. I could have easily broke all that glass, fall on it. The TV was here, the couch was here, and I landed right in between. And my whole craft area was right there.
You didn't land on a sharp object? You didn't?
Nothing.
Wow.
The floor. I actually laid there crying for about an hour before I would let him call 911 because I kept thinking, I just made more work for everybody.
Oh, it's a couple days before Thanksgiving.
Right. I'm like, they're going to kill me. I just made more work. Like, now they got to patch a hole in the ceiling. I just made more work. That was all I could think about. Oh. So finally, he's like, we got to get you to the hospital. I go in. I was there forever before I got x-rays. And they come back and they said, you have a broken fibula. A shattered fibula. I mean, it was shattered. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking cast, and I'll be on my way. You'll have surgery later tonight.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
So I'm like, okay, so surgery. What is this going to mean? So I have some beautiful hardware.
Wow.
I have a plate, I think 6 pins, and then I have a screw that goes through holding my ankle. I was told in 12 weeks of no weight bearing. And then Wednesday, January 6th, I didn't know the time at the time, but at 1:30 in the morning, I heard breaking glass. And so I was like, Briere, is that you? Because I know she goes to work. She had to work that day, and she usually leaves about 4:30. I had no concept of what time it was. And then I heard it louder, and I'm like, there's something going on. Like, somebody's breaking into our house.
Oh, my gosh.
There's glass. What the heck? And I kind of, like, you kind of got more awake at that point. And then I'm like, I heard, like, crackling in the distance. And I'm like, our house is on fire. Oh my God, our house is on fire, So I can't walk on my leg.
It's the middle of the night.
It's the middle of the night.
Everyone's home.
And so...
Sound asleep.
And I got out of bed somehow because, again, I can't walk on my left leg. Crawled to their bedroom. I banged on the door. I'm like, girls, get up. The house is on fire. Girls, get up.
Panic. I could just imagine. Did you hear that in your mom's voice?
Yeah, well, I heard her when she was banging on the door. But why is she up? I have to work. Like, I don't understand this. You need to be in bed. And then
she thought I had fallen and she had to help me get up.
Yeah, I thought she fell. Because obviously it's not...
It's a thing for her.
It's a thing for both of my parents. Yeah. So I thought somebody fell. She's like, get out. The house is on fire. And I was like, what? I got out of bed, and we had in our room, we still shared a room, obviously, and so we had, like, my bed was here right when you walked in the door, and then we had a 3-drawer Sterlite container thing as, like, our nightstand, because nightstands are really expensive.
Yes.
And then we had this huge, tall, like, shoe cubby thing that my grandpa had just made for us, and then my sister had a Sterlite container, and then her bed. So I jumped out of bed, obviously, and I went to go out we broke open the window, like we lifted up and broke out the screen. Wow. And then I remember I was getting ready to go out head first. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm going to break my neck. Like, I can't just jump out the window head first.
Like, how far is it to the ground?
It's about 4 or 5 feet.
Geez.
So
you're not, like, on the ground.
No. So then I remember, like, not jumping out yet and, like, putting my feet out the window. And then I remember falling backwards, and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm dying in this fire. Like, how am I going to get up? There's nothing to hang on to. And I'm not even kidding you. God grabbed my hand and pulled me. And I'm going to start crying. Pulled me out of the house. And I landed on my feet. Thank you. I landed on my feet, and then I said, Shy, you gotta get out. And she said...
I was still trying to get the window open.
Yeah, she said, I don't know how. Because obviously you don't practice jumping out of a window. You don't do that. I grabbed her.
I sat up, and I'm like, what are you doing?
You're fighting for your life, and your sister's just like a dead weight.
Right,
like, come on, let's move it.
Exactly. Grabbed her and pulled her out of the window. I obviously don't know how, but I did.
Wow.
And then my mom was screaming, and my dad was screaming, obviously. And so then we ran around the front of the house, and she's like, call 911. So that's when I found out I had my phone still. I don't know how I kept my phone, but I did. And then I, called 911.
And what did you tell your sister? Go get the hose.
Yeah.
That's going to do it. Yeah.
Right. I said, go get the hose.
In the snow.
Oh, my God.
Go get the hose.
Well, because at that time, I was like, this can totally be contained. Like, go get the hose. We'll just do it ourselves and wait for the firemen to show up. Well, once it hit the natural gas, obviously, it just kind of exploded and went from there.
Yeah, I saw pictures. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Your house is gone.
Yeah.
I cannot believe you guys were in there.
But the best part of, not the best part of this, but she pulled me out the window somehow, some way. I have 2 pillows that were on my bed and my Bible.
Aww.
That was next to my bed.
So back to how we got out. So I crawled back to our bedroom. We're backtracking a little bit, but crawled back to our bedroom. Again, I don't know how I did it. Got to the window. So if you imagine I came up to their bedroom, it's just down the hallway and right there. So I came back. And when I came back, I remembered seeing him standing at the foot of the bed. And I'm like, why is he just standing there? But, I don't know, whatever. So I'm crawling. Because, I knew he heard me, but I didn't know if he was stunned. I don't know if he was, waiting. I didn't know at that point. So then I got to our bed. So our bed was we have the 4-pane windows, and our bed was only covering half of it. And so I got to our bed, somehow stood up. I don't know how. Because he said, I stood up. He doesn't remember. I remember having my knee on the bed. I opened the window and punched the blind out, or the screen out. And then I got my legs out, and I was like, oh, my phone, because I remember where it was. And I tried to reach for it. I'm like, I don't have time. Whatever, it can stay. And I sat there. He said I didn't hesitate. In my mind, I was hesitating because I'm like, I can't jump on my leg. I'm going to break it again. I can't jump. How am I going to get out this window without jumping on my leg? My vision of how I jumped out was kind of tucking my right side so that I would land on my right side. He said I went out head first like a linebacker. That's what he said. He goes, you didn't hesitate. You went out head first like a linebacker, and you rolled on your back. And
wow,
this will be for a good laugh. I sleep naked. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Lesson learned.
Not anymore. I remember him being in the window, and I'm like, you've got to jump.
So now you guys are jumping out different ends of the house.
Actually, the front and the back. So we were on the same end, but just front and back.
Same end, but you can't see each other once you're outside. And these are your babies.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're out, and you're like, are they out? What's happening? You're making sure. You're like, are the girls out? Have you figured out what's going on yet?
Honestly, no. Standing there in a t-shirt, pajama pants, no shoes, glasses on. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I remember
That's
the
my
smoke,
girl.
and I'm like, what? Why is there just smoke in our house?
Oh gosh.
It didn't even register in my mind fire. I was just like, it's really smoky in there.
As a dad, what kind of emotions, what kind of thoughts were you having?
I wasn't thinking about me.
Yeah.
I was trying to make sure they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
She was already gone.
Yeah.
So he knew I was okay, laying in the snow naked.
Right. Well, she's out there, airing out.
And he jumped out just in his boxers. So here come running the neighbors, and he's standing, but he always said, I will sleep in boxers because I don't want my girls to see me naked if there's ever a fire.
Yeah.
That was what he always said,
There.
You're
welcome.
Right.
Thank you, Dad.
Right, exactly.
They heard the smoke detector once I woke them up, but they said it was really faint. So that's another lesson learned. We will have very loud smoke detectors because we had them, and battery, because a lot of ours were hooked up to power.
Oh.
But and they had battery backups. He just changed them when the fire department sign said change your battery. So what is that? October, November, whenever we fall back. So they were new batteries. And another lesson they learned, what was one of your biggest lessons that you guys learned?
Don't put anything in front of the window except for a step stool. Nothing else. And then you can just throw the step stool out.
And then you can just get out.
Just get out on the step stool.
The other thing that I think of is that my girls would have been upstairs within a week. And the fire started below her bedroom.
But
They wouldn't be here.
The hot heat going up, the whole top beam of our house caught at once. So it went up to her room, but then all the way across to my room.
Wow.
Yeah, my dormer, because, it was a Cape Cod, so there was 2 dormers on the second floor, and my dormer was the first to fall in. 'Cause
You guys were just days away from being up there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I said, we just bought the paint for it on Monday.
Him and I both went to the hospital. I went initially to have my leg checked because I didn't think I hurt it, but I didn't know with all the adrenaline and everything. And then once the adrenaline slowed down, I'm like, yep, it hurts. You know, but they x-rayed it. There was nothing wrong. And I did have some smoke inhalation, so they just put me on oxygen, and I coughed it up, and I was released the next day. He wasn't going to go to the hospital. It took a while for that carbon to hit, and then the adrenaline to slow down. By the time he got into the ambulance, he was hardly breathing. Like,
wow.
I mean, they had to put the mask CO2. They had to decrease my oxygen to give him more.
Wow.
And I said, well, I mean, I'm fine. You can take mine off if you need to. And she's like, nope, we're good. You know, we have the 2 tanks. We just wanted to send more to him. We were in the emergency room. We were both in, like, the trauma room next to each other with a curtain. And they ended up putting him on a ventilator. So,
wow.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Did it come out Saturday, I think? I think it came out Saturday. Yeah. It came out Saturday morning. They tried a couple times.
And he wasn't even going to go at all.
No.
Wow.
But I told him, like, his face was all black, and I said, Dad, you need to go in.
His airway is really small, I guess. I don't know. They have a hard time intubating him anyway.
Okay.
And so they sedated him because, you know, he was initially trying to fight it, which I can't imagine that it's comfortable having that, you know. He came home Sunday. He ended up coming home Sunday, Wednesday to Sunday.
Wow.
And now his voice is like, he sounds like the mafia.
It'll come back around. You're alive.
Right. That's the
You're
important
alive.
thing.
That's so you guys are displaced. How'd you find somewhere to live?
Grandparents?
Their living room is our house. Sleep on the couch, and then she's on an air mattress next to me, and they're in the Lazy Boys.
And you're gonna rebuild on the property?
We will rebuild eventually. You know, you got all the insurance stuff to figure out, and we're supposed to be getting a temporary trailer brought in, hopefully in the next 10 days. And then the house, there's a bunch of paperwork that we have to do and send in. And here's another tip for anybody. Take inventory of your house. And when people say take pictures of everything or whatever, do it. Do it today, right now. Go take pictures. Open your drawers, your silverware. We have to write down how many spoons we had, how many knives we had, how many pairs of socks we had. It's a daunting task. We have 30 to 60 days to do it. So they can't even start demolition until they have that.
Right.
Because they haven't, like, approved our claim yet until they have the sworn, you know, what happened, the sworn affidavit, and the adjuster came out and, like, recorded us with what happened in the events.
What is that like, reliving that? I mean, every time you tackle that list, are you reliving what happened?
Sometimes, because then it'll trigger, oh my gosh, we lost this.
Yeah.
Or, oh my gosh, we lost that, you know? Because there's things that you don't think about, like his tools. He'll be like, oh my gosh, that tool was in there. Oh my gosh, that was, you know. So it's just, it is reliving things that, you know, you forget about. Music director at church had gotten him some stuff for Christmas.
Oh.
You know, and so she's like, oh, that was on the table, or, you know. And they fought the fire for 11 hours from the newspaper
Are you
article.
serious?
3 different departments.
We're so thankful to look at all of your beautiful faces. We're so glad that you guys all got out, but there is animals that did not make it out, right?
2.
Yep.
2 dogs?
Yeah.
What were their names?
Jack and Plexi.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't make it. Like I said, we were just talking about this the other day that, you know, we're at peace knowing that they were gone before the fire actually got to them.
They were right next to where the fire started, and obviously they were sleeping.
They were able to get them out and buried them for us, so at least they're
At peace. When you decide you want to make a positive footprint in the world, it's not always that easy because it's just all kinds of weird stuff happens. And especially right now, it just seems weird out there. Like the world is weird. Your story just kept coming up. People were like, Melissa, how can you help them? Isn't there anything you can do? And nobody, that doesn't ever happen. No, I don't get messaged by that many people ever. And I'm not going to lie. I stalked you guys for a little bit before I even reached out.
First.
Because I thought, what is with these people? And everything was so positive. You have just been through such a tragic event, unimaginable to most people. And everything's like, oh, thank you, Sally, for the flowers. Thank you, this. And we're hanging in there and the Lord has a plan. And I'm like, boy, I don't know if my faith is strong enough to be like that. What keeps you so positive?
We've always believed. That's not an issue, but I have never felt so strong in my faith than what I do right now. And that seems crazy because we just lost our house. We just lost everything.
Yeah, it seems like your faith is being tested.
And my faith has grown stronger because I look for the treasures in every day. And one day they found my dad's hearing aids. And I said, there's our treasure for the day. Every little thing, is just God showing us that everything's going to be okay. And he has a plan for this. He's there. He's present.
I mean, as parents, we all want our kids to be, stronger and better and have more faith even than we do. How does that feel that here you are witnessing your daughters talk like this? What does that feel like?
It's actually, they have taught me so much about faith. I said one day, I just want to lay in a bed. You know what I mean? Like, because I can't stand up and stretch out, just want to lay in a bed. Like, as stupid as it sounds to some people, when you don't have a bed, I was kind of having a pity party on myself that day. So I hollered to my mom and I said, can I just lay in your bed for a little bit, once you make it? And she's like, yep, it's made. Go ahead and lay down. And I went in there and I laid down and I started crying and I'm like, I just want to lay in a bed, and walk. That was the other thing. I just want to lay in a bed and I just want to walk. And she's like, Mom, we'll get there. It's going to be okay. You just have to find the treasure in today. And with a straight face and a smile, as I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm so proud of my girls.
Yeah.
How many hours of community service did you graduate with in 2017?
I graduated with
421.
400? Did you say 400?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Shai, what's your goal?
842.
Wow.
She wants to double her sister.
That's amazing.
And that was one thing people said. They're 16. They need to get jobs. I said, you know what, though? I told them, as long as you guys give of your time and talents, I would rather you focus on school. So I got to show you this picture going back. What does that tell you?
Wow.
Go back to the original one.
You see it now.
Oh, my gosh.
God was with us the whole time.
He was there the whole time. The GoFundMe that was set up, Hope, it's for the Brown family, and we'll put a link down in the description so people can join in. I know several of you are probably biting at the bit, wanting to help. There is insurance at work, but that's so far down the road, and there's so much in expenses before that ever even comes, and I don't think people understand that. Generosity of people, I mean, I know you guys had to get like a donation center because people were trying to help out with, items that they had for you guys. And I mean, what does that feel like? Is it hard to take it? Is it humbling? Do you feel, what do you feel like? How do you
It's weird.
Is it strange? Because you guys are the givers.
Right,
You're
right.
the ones running to people's rescue
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
So how do you be on the other end?
It was super strange at first because, Wednesday morning, obviously, once we got to my grandparents' house, I didn't sleep because I was terrified. I was trying to, figure out everything that had just happened, and we lived there for 19 years, so that was where I grew up. That's all I know. I'm just going to pretend that my house is not in flames, and we're just going to carry on with life. And then I went to get up, and I was like, wait, I don't have a toothbrush. I don't have a hairbrush. I have the clothes that I had on my back at the time when I jumped out the house, and that was all that we had. I posted on Facebook, and I said what had happened. Seriously, 2 hours later, my grandparents' driveway was flooded with cars.
When I came home from the hospital on Thursday, they opened the garage, and I just lost it. The amount of, like you said, tangible items, it was, overwhelming. So many coats. I think they counted 45 coats were donated.
Wow.
Is that what it was? Something like that?
Wow.
And I said, okay, we'll each keep 2.
Yeah.
And the rest...
Let's help some other cold people.
Yep. A friend of ours, she goes out and tries to find the homeless in Flint.
Oh.
And so she came and got them.
How
that
cool.
and shoes.
Oh,
went
that's
down
so
there.
great.
So,
Oh my gosh, if you're watching this and you were part of that whole donation process, thank you so much. You really helped out so many people. That's incredible. We were so inspired by your story and your attitude. And by attitude, I mean, it's just been so uplifting, and you've really tested my faith, honestly, because I just don't know if now I know I would make a better effort at it. I would definitely try to be more positive. I've been so impacted by your story and the amount of people that reached out to me to talk about you guys behind your backs.
Nice.
You know, just blew me away. And some of our business friends wanted to jump in and be able to help you guys out. And we have a couple special things for you guys. I think you guys just need a night out to go eat. Bavarian Inn Lodge, here's a $100 gift certificate. Go out, have some fun. Our friends at Calla Lillies, right over in the River Place, gave us $300 of brand new clothes and undergarments for you guys. And the River Place gave us another $100 in gift certificates for you guys to go over and go shopping.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Well, our friends at Rummel's Portrait Studio, a $300 gift certificate to get some pictures reprinted. I know that family pictures are gone, and you guys had a lot of great memories hanging up in your house, and that's hard. That's irreplaceable. Timber, Oaks Lawn and Snow Removal, True Value Hardware, Schaefer Bierlein, IRD Homes, and Kelly's Reality, they all chipped in together. They wanted to help you guys out with $2,000 to True Value.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you guys. I really do.
Well, I keep saying, I don't have time for why me, because that just brings you down. There's not time for negativity because you're just going to get into a hole. Instead say, carry me, Lord, and take me where you need me to go. You don't realize the inspiration you're putting out there until you realize the inspiration you've put out there.
Right. Sometimes the most impact you make is when you're not saying a whole lot at all. It's what you're doing. Check down below in the description. You'll see the link for their GoFundMe page. Please go there. And if you can donate, great. If not, at least leave a message. There's a spot where you can leave a nice message for them. Or if you want to comment on this video, and please share this video with somebody that you know could benefit from hearing this story and being inspired by this. And click subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. And we can't wait to see you guys back again. What you guys have done for myself and my family. And it's just... It's a really inspiring story, and I hope people can hang on to this and know that no matter what you're going through, if you have your faith, you have everything. Because you guys seem like you have everything. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I love that you guys can laugh and just not waller in the sadness and the tragedy. I mean, there's time for tears, and it feels good to get that out.